Well, this week happens to be Africa Code Week, and we also happen to have a teachers forum at the end of the week that will be focusing on digital literacy. And as I said earlier, I'm joined by the Deputy Head Teacher of Gaza High School, Mr. Ronald Dungu, and Barbara Birunji, a social entrepreneur. Welcome to Morning at NTV. I'll start with you, Mr. Dungu. What is digital literacy?
Digital literacy is literacy in computer skills. Being able to utilize the available technologies thoughtfully, responsibly, manipulating them for our own benefit.
Okay, well, and what benefit would that be, really?
Access is a critical benefit. For example, I'm a teacher. I can teach across the country from one station. I can be at Gaza High School and I can deliver lectures across the country. That is the value of technology.
Not moonlighting, as we used to call it.
And this is about even open source, corporate social responsibility. All my lessons can be accessed by anyone else through technologies. At Gaza High School, we've been able to do one thing, to prove a concept that a school can turn out to be an open library. We have an e-learning platform where we are trying to document our activities, our tests, our notes, our activities, and it is an online platform where you can access this content from anywhere. We get about 6,000 visitors when we're on holiday. That is what we are calling for. We hope we can have the best 50 schools. You know, when your NEB releases results and the newspapers point out the 50 best schools, how I wish these 50 best schools would provide 50 open libraries. Wow. Then would change the education in this country.
And Barbara is agreeing with you. But I want to ask, as a teacher, recent reports did say that teachers can't read and write, basically. So I'm asking you, Mr. Dungu, isn't this way ahead of us in Uganda?
Well, that would be the situation at hand. But again, we can manipulate the available technologies to develop ourselves. I can connect up with different teachers across the country and be able to develop them as good as another teacher may be. So this situation at hand can be manipulated. We just need to move a little faster and be able to change this.
Mr. Dungu, I'll come back to you. And there are some teachers who are opposed to such development?
Oh, yes. These are new technologies for us. We never went to school with them. We never studied them in school. But we are trying our level best, and we do coding ourselves in school. I'm a mathematics teacher, and you cannot get out of my mathematics class without developing a mobile application. The challenge is we need to map these on the current curriculum for sustainability. You need to find the right area where this coding needs to go, and you need to engage the teacher to realize that the activity-based learning will provide a better child. When we talk about technologies, we actually look at the world of work. What are these children going to do? So we need to integrate technology within our work so that the children we churn out from our schools can fit in well within the workplace.
A huge percentage. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to add that it's so true. We are churning out university students every year to a tune of maybe 100,000, I'm not so sure. And we're saying there are no jobs in Uganda, and it keeps going worse and worse each year. Yet we have the power, using computer science, to empower these young people to create their own jobs and also be able to take on existing jobs elsewhere. Right now, the US says it has 50 million computer science jobs available, but they don't have the capacity to fill it. And with technology, you can sit right here in Uganda and be able to do a job that is in the US. We're already doing that at Women in Technology Uganda. We have companies in the US that are sending us software testing, software development work back here, and we have local girls that are actually doing this work. So there is potential of us being able to attract jobs from abroad and be able to do them here in Uganda if only we can embrace technology as the way to go. So it just doesn't need to be a sub-component of maybe computer in school, but it needs to be something that we actually grade these kids on. Not just computer literacy, but actual coding is really important for us to teach.
We've been talking earlier on the big story about electricity and the reach of electricity in Uganda. And you people just targeting already an elite group of people who already have access to computers. What about the large majority of Ugandans who have no electricity, who will not be able to power those computers?
solar-powered computers exist. So I know
Are they
that
available locally
yes,
in the market?
so UCC has this Rural Development Fund that has gone ahead and put different computers in different schools to a tune of maybe 100 or 50 computers per school, and they've maybe done 500. I don't know how many schools they've done, but they've done it in so many schools all over the country. And these are solar-powered computers, so we can't use the excuse of not having electricity to say we can't teach coding to these kids.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So there's no excuse
No,
whatsoever.
we don't have any excuse.
And with you, Mr. Dungo, as we conclude, how would you say technology can work for teachers? For those who are watching and are still very skeptical about this and maybe thinking computers have come to take over their jobs, what would you say to them?
Well, as teachers, we need to realize that the position of a teacher has changed. We need to move into a position of a facilitator. We need to realize that the students we have in our classrooms can read on their own and they can develop even better content than us. We need to take the learning part and they become the teachers. We need to change the way we do things. So it is a challenge for us as teachers, but it is an interesting journey where the teacher sits back and the students begin to discover and develop and create. At the end of the day, you become a better teacher who is a learning teacher. So I call for teachers to be able to learn from their students.
Okay, thank you very much, Barbara. Thank you very much, Mr. Dungo, or Dr. Dungo.
Ronald Dungo.
Ronald Dungo.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And we have been talking about education and technology. This week happens to be Africa Code Week, and there is also a teachers forum that is happening, and the focus is digital literacy, which is one of the key skills, core skills that has been introduced in the curriculum, with something that UNESCO is actually pushing for. Well,